Thank you. I won't take any more time with the thanks. But my name is Michael Gardiner. I'm running as a lifelong resident of Rhode Island. I've always been a Republican. To me, that has always stood for being a fiscal conservative. I want to tell you right now on the salient issue of what we should do with our party. I do believe that we should close that primary. It's time for Republicans to be Republicans and not some sort of alternate opportunity for a Democrat who doesn't want to face his own machine. But the salient issue today we've been talking about a lot is people realize with the health care bill, the supposedly open negotiations, that there's been a complete betrayal of every campaign promise that has been made. We were promised open negotiations on health care. We've been sold health care reform on a chicken little sky is falling basis. We have to do it right now. We're going to do this openly. The fact is they want to do it in a rushed way because they know they're going to lose the midterms, and that's the only reason. And so now they're going to foist this bill upon us with this fraudulent behind-the-doors process. And I think Americans have had enough of that. Now, and that goes, and I want to say, Bob Bracey of Rhode Island Right to Life talked to me today, and he was very upset about this too, because he pointed out, where is Jim Langevin on this? You know, he represents the 2nd Congressional District. Where is Jim Langevin? Where was Jim Langevin on, say, Cash for Clunkers? A stupid idea. A stupid idea. The average trade was a Ford F-150 for a Ford F-150, but they were supposed to be helping us to take gas guzzlers off the road. And if you bought a vehicle 10 years ago that was efficient on gas, maybe you bought a Honda Accord, what did you get? Nothing. What did somebody who bought the truck get? $4,700. Is that fair? That's classic Democrat reward the irresponsible at the expense of everyone else. And I think people are fed up. But the fact is, we're not going to win this election with just anger. We're not. This is Rhode Island. It's a very blue state. We're going to win this election with some actual ideas. And I have kind of a 3-for-1 for you. This health care reform does highlight, this argument about health care reform does begin with one fact. We have a real problem in health care. Inflation in the health care sector is about 7.6% per year on average, year after year. It's killing our employers. It's killing our job opportunities. It's killing our state and local governments. It's killing our local taxpayers. It's eating away at our economy. We have to fix it. However, what they've done so far is completely wrong. What they've done so far is propose to price controls. It's unconstitutional. Let me just suffice it to say that. But here's what we need to do with health care. We need to create a nationwide marketplace for health insurance. It's that simple. These companies fear only one thing: competition with each other. Now, if you use uniform state laws, like we used our Uniform Commercial Code, to create a nationwide marketplace in health insurance, you will immediately have competition. In Rhode Island, an individual has one choice of insurance carrier, Blue Cross, one. Now, if we have a nationwide marketplace, an individual, now companies can buy more, but if you're an individual, a friend of mine, Mike, told me, one choice if you're an individual is a practical matter. A nationwide marketplace will cause competition that will probably lower those premiums by 10, 20, 30%. Why? Those companies want millions of subscribers. In the minds of the barons, the money barons, they want subscriber revenue, month after month after month, millions of subscribers. Why? They can leverage it. It's power in the financial markets. They want that. You open up, create a nationwide marketplace in healthcare, and you will see healthcare premiums come down 10, 20, 30%. Now think of the 2007 stimulus checks. $300, $600. What's 10, 20, or 30% of an employee family plan? $800? $1,600? $2,400? If you do this, the effect would be a stimulus. God knows we cannot afford another print money, digitized money, deflate the currency stimulus that only helps the favorites of the government. We need a stimulus that comes right from the assets, the money that is already in our economy, just being wasted on healthcare insurance. So we got kind of a 2-for-1, right? A nationwide healthcare marketplace will save every individual employer, including the state and local governments and their taxpayers, so much money, the effect will be an economic stimulus. Right. What we have to do in this election cycle is we have to win something like 21 out of 36 Senate seats. There's none up for grabs in Rhode Island right now. So some of you might want to consider supporting some candidates from outside this state with what you can. I know we need the money in this state too, but we have to consider those Senate races, because if you don't have 60 votes in the Senate, as we've seen with the health care thing, you can't stop a filibuster, and you can't do anything. So not one of us can do a thing unless we actually take the Senate. Even if we take a majority in the House, what are we going to do? Probably not that much. So number one is, as a group, we have to, I mean, obviously, Mr. McKay's question suggests the answer. We're going to vote against it. We're going to stop stop printing money. We're going to stop the deficit spending as best we can. But the fact of the matter is the answer to that question is that we have to take the House and we have to take the Senate. And that's the practical reality of it. I think Rhode Island has 113, 114 General Assembly people. And out of that, we have 10 Republicans. And you can see with what's going on with the Republican Party now, the game is rigged to keep the Republican Party destroyed and as small as possible. So number one, and then we have the grassroots people. And the grassroots people have made their voice heard, and they're understandably upset, and they're upset about the behavior of both parties over the last couple of decades. But I would say this one thing in defense of the Republicans. There was never any Republican revolution. The Senate was always more or less balanced. Anytime the Republicans wanted to do something, they had to bribe the Democrats in the Senate, just like the Democrats are bribing the Democrats in the Senate to put the health care bill through. So that's my little defense of the Republican Party in the so-called Republican Revolution. We never really had a chance. We have to really do it this time. How are we going to do it? The grassroots people have to give us a chance. I would say consider supporting Republican candidates in Rhode Island. Really, you know, I know there's anger from the grassroots movements that says we want to be bipartisan, but really, please just give it some serious consideration. Talk to your neighbors who you respect and admire, who might want to run for office. You know, ultimately, people do get more votes when they attach themselves to a party label. They simply do. And so, if we could recognize that reality, but come in and take the party, make it yours. Participate in the party. There are so many things you can do, from contributing to participating in leaf drops, phone banks, just talking to your friends, putting a post on Facebook. But consider coming under the tent of the Republican Party in Rhode Island. We really need a balanced two-party system in this state. We truly do.